Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ask a Witch Live. So, yes, I've been a witch for coming up on 36 years since I did my first self-initiation, self-dedication. And then 36, 35, 34 years since my first coven initiation. So yeah, I've been around for a hot minute or two. Should have figured a couple of things out by now. And hopefully I'm able to share some of that knowledge with you. Hello, Miss Fatine. Welcome. Glad to have you here. So we're going to talk about today, who are my guides? Let me tell you, there is so much confusion on this whole guide topic. You would be really surprised. Everybody's like, oh, who are my guides, my guardian angels? Let me tell you, you go the world over and every culture has some version of guardian angels, guides, ancestors, spirits, so on and so forth. So we're going to clear up a lot of the confusion today between guides versus ancestors versus past loved ones and guardian angels and all of that fun stuff today. Now, I will say, if you guys have any questions at any point during the live, throw them out there. Ask them. We will address them. I will address them as they're coming through. And this is just an organic, let's sit here and learn together. So, what are guides? Let's start off with that. Guides are a way of saying, hey, this is our spiritual sense, our spiritual sixth sense, so to speak, that gives us direction and help throughout our lifetime. Okay. So guides are ones that are, as the name kind of suggests, kind of helps you guide you through life. You know what I mean? So these are things that will help guide you through life. Now, guides can take a bunch of different forms. Now, you'll hear basically several people like, oh, you know, my guide is this person, my guide is that person. And you're like, the next thing that you want to know is, well, who are my guides? Your guides are very done to the individual. You know what I mean? They are very much attuned to the individual. Now, a guide, we know what it is. A guide is there to help you get through the difficulties of life, right? So basically, some people will consider their guides a guardian angel. Are guardian angels guides? Yes. Are guides guardian angels? Yeah. Okay. Can they influence things? To a point. They can influence things on what I call the unseen. Okay. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. There's the seen and the unseen. But they can make influences on our lifetimes. They can influence people around us. They can influence certain events. So can they function as guardian angels? Yes. Okay. Are my guides gods and goddesses? Technically, no. Can they appear that way? Yes. Now, can gods and goddesses function as guides, like by giving us information and help and changing things and all that sort of thing? Absolutely, they can. Okay. That is a very big context there as well. So different things can function as guides in our life. But what I'm discussing today specifically is the guides that stay with you your entire life. Now, some people might say, hey, Shiya, I've had several different guides in my life. You may think so. And yeah, you might have had certain different energies and elements functioning as your guides through your lifetime. But there is one essential guide that everybody has. Okay, one central guide that everybody has. And Jess asked the question, well, what about, let me put the chat up here, who is my guide? How do you know who's your guide? Well, we're going to start off with that. Your guide is basically your Akashic records keeper. Did I just bring up a whole nother ball of wax? Probably. The Akashic records are basically the records, the library of everything. And specifically, your section in the Akashic records is the library of everything you. Not just you during this lifetime, but you across multiple lifetimes. Not only the lifetimes that have been past, but also the lifetimes that are yet to come. And that gets into a whole nother theological ball of wax, which we will get into, whether things are predestination or free will. The answer to that question is actually yes, but that's a whole nother ball game. We're going to stick with the guides focus today. Okay, so your predominant guide throughout your lifetime is this energetic being, which is, in many cases, people refer to as their higher self. Because this person, this guide, this energetic being, this Akashic records keeper is all about you. It is you. It's all about you. Okay. Are they completely and truly you? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, does that energetic being ever completely come down and live on Earth? No, not really. However, it is still a part of you. Okay, so it's like it's literally your higher self. It is a self version of you that is accumulation of all of your lifetime's knowledge and is a connection between you and the divine. Okay, now if we get into, again, more theology a little bit, and hello, Kimon. If we get into theology a little bit, we recognize that, the divine is huge. The divine is big. The divine is the universe, spirit, all things, all the gods, all the goddesses, all the spiritual beings, all those things which exist on a whole spiritual level. All of these things are the divine. And come on, this is a Ask a Witch Live, not a Tarot Live. We're learning about guides today. So basically, the divine is just this huge ass concept that we can kind of connect to, but we have difficulty connecting to the immensity of all that which is known as the gods, the goddesses, the divine. Which is why anybody who tries to sit there and limit and says, nope, God is only this way, I just, that's cute, to think that your human mind can somehow define and all-encompass God and the divine. Yeah, that's cute. Nice. Let me know how that works out for you. Good luck with that. You worship your way, and I will commune with the divine my way. Yay! Aren't we great with inclusivity with that? Okay. So truly, when we are connecting with God and with spirit, we are actually first connecting with our higher selves in order to connect to the divine. Okay. So what we're doing there is we're still connecting with, oh my gosh, our guide, our main guide. Now, our main guide, okay, our higher self knows other people. Your higher self is like this being that understands and exists outside of time and space in the Akashic record and can connect anywhere and everywhere across the universe. Okay, like I said, they got the direct connect to source. They got the direct connect to spirit. Okay, so your guide can appear as one or as many. That's why I say guides, because you don't want to limit that. Our guides are neither male nor female, neither one nor many. They are energetic. That is a culmination of all things which are, have been, and ever will be for your precious little soul. Okay? So you're saying, wait a second, I'm being guided by myself? Yes, a version of you. A version of you that is, one might say, complete or wholly divine or wholly connected with the divine. Wait a second. Is my higher self a part of divinity? Is my higher self God, goddess, spirit, all? Yes, in a way, because again, spirit and all is all encompassing, remember? And your guide is able to connect with these things. Therefore, your guide, your higher self, is able to also emulate these things. Now, Shiya, I think that my great-great-great-grandma is my guide. No, your great-great-great-grandma is your great-great-great-grandma. Your guide is your guide. Now, does your guide have awareness of your great-great-great-grandma? Yes. Can your guide emulate your great-great-great-grandma because you trust your great-great-great-grandma? Yes. However, is your great-great-great-grandma still an energetic presence in your ancestry line? Yes. So we're going to get into that next part of, well, how do guides differ from my ancestors? Okay, your guide, again, is your higher self. It is a completed version of you in the culmination of all of your eternal development. So yes, your guide, your higher self is eternal. As long as your spark, your energy exists, then your guide, your Akashic Record guide, your Akashic Record higher self exists. Okay. Now, your great-great-great-grandma, that was a manifestation of a spiritual being in one particular lifetime that translates in that one particular way. And when they cross across the veil, they get a little bit more access to their past lifetimes as well. They also get a little bit more access to kind of seeing the energies and the universes and the worlds around them, and they have a different perspective. So our ancestors can guide us, but our ancestors are not our guides. You see the difference? So when we are calling to our ancestors, we are calling upon two different distinct elements on our ancestry line. One is our DNA, those who have come before us in literally a genome DNA sequence on this planet on a series of births and rebirths, and kind of on down through the genetic line. And those are the things that you can trace with Ancestry.com or what any of these other genealogy kind of things. You can kind of trace those back and find out who your ancestors, your DNA ancestors were. Okay. Then you have what you call spiritual ancestors, okay? And these are people who are part of your energetic, your spiritual family, the family from the other side of the veil. Those people that would include soulmates, twin flames, soul sisters, soul brothers, soul mothers, soul fathers, soul family. People that continually show up in your life, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Those are your spiritual ancestors. Those are people who have a vested interest in you, in your development and who you are, because they live all of these lifetimes with you. They've gotten to know you over multiple incarnations. Okay. Can they also guide you? Yes, absolutely. But they are part of your ancestors. Ancestors can function as guides. Well, Shiya, what about the divine? You've talked about before having patron deities and being able to commune with the divine and gain information from different gods and goddesses and different aspects of spirit, that which is all. Absolutely. They are part of that vast whole, which our human minds can only barely scratch the surface of. That ultimate divine, everything that is connected beyond universes throughout all of existence, that huge, vast everything, which comes from nothing but encompasses all, that great paradox up in the sky up there. However you want to call him, her, it, they. Yahweh, Elohim, Isis, Diana, Hecate, Kali, Pan, Hern, Cernunnos, Apollo, Jupiter, Mercury, which he gets a bad rap. I'm just going to say Mercury gets a little bit of a bad rap. All of these things are all aspects of the divine. Can they be guides? They can function as guides. They can guide you. That does not make them officially your guides. Your guide, again, and in its plural or singular, is the highest version of yourself, which is ultimately connected to the divine. So, who is your guide? The perfect you, the ultimate you. So, your guide knows everything that you're going to go through and that you've been through. However, they do have limitations on what they can do and what they can tell you and how they can assist. They will wink, wink, nudge, nudge you in particular directions. They will holler at you and say, hey, take a left turn at Albuquerque. Don't go right. And when you go right, they just like, oh, God. Okay, I knew they were going to go right. I tried to change it. I guess we're going to go through this the hard way. God dang it. And yes, we can make our guides feel like they need to go day drinking or some shit, okay? But our guides are very much vested personally in our continued development. And they would like for us to get to our ultimate expression of self somehow, some way. Now, you may ask me, Shiya, do we ever fully connect with our ultimate self and ultimate being? The answer to that question is, I don't know. I'm assuming at some point, maybe, but considering the entire reason of our existence is constantly learning and growing, I don't know that I'd ever want to be actually perfect. I think that our spiritual selves are possibly even consistently learning and growing as we are learning and growing. But what we know is that the best aspect of everything that is us and something that wants to constantly have us grow and be better is what our guides are. Now, how do our guides communicate with us? Why, that's a very deep question. And I'm so glad you didn't ask, because I asked. So, our guides communicate with us in a multiple different ways. As I said, they can give us that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nod, nod, kind of like, hey, go do this, go do that. They can communicate with us through divination methods. Okay, if you are absolutely going through learning any kind of a divination, you can connect to your higher self. They can connect to us through meditation, guided or otherwise. They can connect to us through prayer. Prayer is a form of meditation, as science has shown us, in the way that the brain lights up when we are connecting in a spiritual level. They've done some beautiful MRI studies on that. I highly encourage you to go look at that. Science and magic do complement each other, contrary to popular belief. Okay, so we can connect through prayer. We also can receive message from our guides by, like I said, they have some potential to manipulate some of the world around us. They will put an energy here or there for something that we need to see or be drawn to. Okay. They can speak to us through others who can connect to them directly, or others who can, just receive a message like like you go to, if you've ever been to a Pentecostal church, okay? I don't know if you've ever been to a Pentecostal church, where they speak in tongues, where they believe in the gifts of the Spirit. Those are some fun churches to go to, man. Some of them can be a little bit over intense because of their, particular dogmatic thing, but man, these people, they're, as they say, they're in the Spirit. Okay, they're in the Spirit. All right, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they are, worshiping anything else other than their version of the divine, but they are allowing themselves to clue in on a spiritual level, okay, to the spirits that are around them, and they believe that, hey, there's more to this world than meets the eye. Okay, so you will have many times, and Andrea says I have and do speak in tongues, same, and that is an actual, spirit trying to express itself in a physical language, which is why it comes out so fucked up and weird. Now, if you look at the way these Pentecostal churches work and the way they explain to the Bible, is that you always will have somebody who will speak in tongues, and then you will have somebody else who's been given the gift of interpretation. So it literally says, hey, nobody should be speaking in tongues without a true interpretation, because I've been in some churches where some people go, speaking in tongues and all they're really doing is attention seeking. Oh my gosh, people in spiritual settings, attention seeking. It can and does happen quite a bit. Oh, wonderful. I'm not sure who that is. It says Facebook user on my chat. So let me know who you are and I will say hi to you by name. But basically, in these Pentecostal churches, you'll have somebody who's connecting to their higher self, who might be connecting to your higher self, who is speaking out and giving you a message, blah, 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 we're speaking in tongues, and then somebody else comes over and says, the Spirit says that you are to be healed, and to be healed, you got to go wash in the River Jordan, okay? Yes, and it's a language of spirit, and it's not, there's no real enemy. The enemy is made up bullshit, okay? Just going to say that. All right, we like to have an adversary. There's light and dark. There are things that come against us, but to say, oh, it's all Satan's fault, I don't personally believe in that. If you do, then fine, that works for you, and you can give that the power that it needs to have in your life to help you direct. It's not something that works for me. It's not something that speaks to me. And historically, it's not something that actually needs to exist. Oh, Jessica Green, welcome. Yes, it has been a hot minute. I am so glad to see you back. So glad. It's been a hot minute. And yes, you were under gray most of the time, and I remember you switched to green at one point. So yes, welcome. I'm so glad to see you. But yes, these are all ways that our spirit can speak to us. Other times it's, that still small voice. We might be able to actually hear a voice within us. Other times it's just, oh, fuck, we know things, or as the wolf likes to say, he smokes and knows things. He smokes and connects to his higher damn self and knows things. That's what that is, okay? All of these readings that I do, are you guys ready for my secret of how I do such accurate and amazing, crazy-ass readings and know shit that I have no business knowing things? Is it because I am all-seeing and all-knowing? Fuck no. I'm a person. I just pass along messages. If anything, I'm a page girl. I'm a messenger. Okay, I just bring messages and do what I can to help people. Here is my secret of how I do all these readings. I connect to my higher self, which connects to your higher self, which knows every goddamn thing about you. Okay, so I'm not even trying to read you, and that's where a lot of readers make mistakes, is they try to read other people. It's like, oh, I can't read you, your energy's blocked. You can put up all the shields in the motherfucking world. I have no shields between me and my guide. My guide has no shields between you and your guides. So, if I wanted, and that's one of the things I do with, channeled messages from your guide. I talk to my guide and say, hey, will you do me a favor and hook me up with this person's guide? Yeah, sure. Here you go. Okay. Hey, what can I tell this person? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let me start my sermon now. Because guides are like, oh my gosh, they want the best for you because they are personally invested in you. Now, some people you hear say, talking about their guides, to say, hey, my guide is so-and-so. My guide is so-and-so. My guide is one of my ancestors from 5,000 years ago. My guide is the goddess Hecate. My guide is Medusa. Oh, my guide is an ancient Sanskrit priest. Okay, are these accurate? Yes. And No. Okay? Our guides will appear to us and communicate with us in whatever the fuck way we will actually pay the fuck attention to them. Let me say that again for those in the back. Our guides will connect with us and appeal to us and appear to us and communicate with us in whatever form we are most likely to listen to and trust. Will your guides imitate people? Yes. I have one person, and she's given me permission to kind of tell on her, and we get on there. But she's been coming on and off my lives for about 4 or 5 years now, and her guide is Whitney Houston, 'cause she will always love her. Okay, I don't know, take your pick, but her guide comes to her as Whitney. Okay, so you'll hear Whitney says this, Whitney says that, Whitney Houston this, Whitney Houston that. Is this person hearing from Whitney Houston? Yes and no. Okay. Oh, there's Jessica Gray. You came on the YouTube. Now I can see your name. Okay. Yes, her guide is Whitney Houston. No, her guide is not Whitney Houston. Actually, her guide understands the mannerisms, can probably connected with Whitney Houston's higher self, got all the downloaded content, and is able to appear to my friend / client as Whitney Houston and communicate with her. And you know what? She freaking loves Whitney Houston. So sure, Whitney, I'm going to listen to you. Great. This is awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's great. All right. So Jessica says her guides appear to her only in her dreams. Well, let me tell you why that is, Jessica. Would you like to know why your guides seem to only appear to you in your dreams? Because when we go into a dream world, we are partially stepping out of our physical world. And I say partially because we are literally shutting down our physical world input. Okay? When we go to sleep, we are turning off life 2.0. Okay? We are turning off all of that. And Sonu, we're not doing tarot readings right now. We're doing teachings on who are your guides. Okay? So, basically, when you're going through this and you're learning from your guides, they don't always, they're not able to come through when there's a lot of other physical input around us. Ouch, that's hot. I feel cold. I feel hot. I hear noise. I see things. I've got 50 million fucking distractions going on in my life. How am I supposed to hear from my guides? No! Okay, so when we go to sleep, what are we doing? We close our eyes. That's shutting off our visual input. We stop paying so much attention to the other things that are coming through our ears. Eventually, we become less aware of our physical bodies as we fall deeper and deeper into sleep. And we go only and exist in the realm of the mind, and therefore we can better access our subconscious and our spiritual selves. So when we are dreaming, many times in our dreaming, things of the spiritual world have an easier time getting through to us because we're not being distracted by all that external input. So therefore, we can talk to our past loved ones. We can talk to our guides. We can talk to the divine, so on and so forth. Well, Shiya, do the gods ever actually talk to us directly? Absolutely. How about negative entities, Shiya? Can negative entities and negative vibes and stuff like that, can they come in and pretend to be our guides? Oh yeah. Can we say son of Sam, boys and girls? Okay. There are many times, and that's why it is left to discernment to and to, strengthen numbers and things like that to determine whether we are hearing from a good source or whether we are hearing from a source that is masquerading and bullshitting as a guide and telling us to do negative ass shit. I will tell you, your guides will never tell you to do shit that is harmful to yourself and directly harmful to your personal karma. Okay, so if you're intentionally causing harm to others, well, that's going to cause some negative karma on you, isn't it? So why on earth would your guides direct you to something that is ultimately going to be bad for you? All right. So we have to learn discernment. We have to learn to tell, all right, this is what our guides have here to say. And this is, I don't feel like this is a natural developing guide thing here. I feel like maybe I'm getting duped. All right. And yes, I'm trying to move the little promo thing around a little bit so it goes in the middle a little better. And so I can make the chat a little bit bigger. But basically, yeah, there are many things that will try to take our energy. Our guides, when this happens, when you have a masquerading, whatever, our guides will scream and shout at us like nobody's business to try to get us to say, hey, that's not me. That's an imposter. Okay. And they will find some way to try to get through to us. And if we are paying attention, our guides will tip us off to negative entities that are causing us harm. Leslie says, I see a lot in my dreams, but I can't remember anything. Well, there's a lot of good ways to start remembering our dreams, one of which is going to be self-care and intention before going to bed and how you behave before going to bed. And then the second thing being how you immediately react upon waking up, which is where the dream journal and stuff like that comes into. And we'll do a Ask a Witch on dreams at some point in the future, just for basic stuff. But yes, your guides are working for your benefit and will always try to best work for your benefit. If there is something that is working towards a negative context for you, that's when you need to really start looking into things and questioning things. All right. My biggest advice to you, question everything. Now, you've heard of people, especially when you go on readings and stuff like that, where people say, oh yeah, that resonates, or oh no, that doesn't resonate, or whatever. Okay, when you're looking for that resonate term, I think is a very important term when dealing with guides. You're looking to see if that really resonates in your inner heart, in your inner spirit. Okay? You're looking to see if that resonates within. And if, for some reason, it doesn't resonate within, you need to start looking into it, okay? You need to start investigating it. Because, either A, you have something that's blocking you from that resonation, or B, it's not resonating because your guides are saying, it's not me, that's not what I was saying, no. Now, there are people that will go and say this resonates or it doesn't resonate, meaning, I like this message, I approve of this. I do not like this message, I do not approve of this. There will be many a time where a negative message will resonate because you need to hear it, whether you recognize that or not. You need to hear it. It's an important context. Okay? You have to learn to listen to the shit that you don't want to hear from your guides as much as the stuff that you do. Which is why 9 times out of 10, somebody comes on one of my tarot lives and says, hey, I want a message from my guides. Their guides will nail their asses to the wall in a nice and loving way most of the time. But it'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, I've been trying to get through to this bitch for a while. Oh, thank you. By the way, here's the message. You need to get your shit together before you wreck yourself. All right. And why is that? Because, hey, we like to try to ignore our freaking guides when they're saying shit that, la, 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 I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Oh, my guides are going to talk. Hey, you need to get your I didn't want to hear that, so I bleeped it out. Okay, I'm going to go la, 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 bleep, 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 and not listen to it. You know what I mean? So when your guides actually have this nice little chance to finally say what it is they've been needing to say to your ass, many times it's like, brace for impact. Okay. So who are your guides? Who do you want them to be? If you have, like, I had somebody earlier, and I'll read off, and this person, without saying who they are, said that, I have lots of guides: Medusa, Hecate, Cerberus, Loki, Lord Leviathan, Athena, Apollo, and Gaia. Like, that's lots of divinities. Yes, her guides are appearing to her as divine sources. Now, some of them, they might actually be the divinity. Yes. But are they appearing to her as divine sources that she'll pay attention to? Absolutely. Jessica, wonderful question. Thank you for asking. How do I connect with spirit guides during waking hours? Well, number one, mindfulness. Mindfulness. By the way, speaking of mindfulness, I'm going to share a little thing that I've been doing. Make sure that you are subscribing to my channels, be it either on Facebook or on YouTube, because I have a whole bunch of these little things that are called mindfulness moments, and then we'll talk about mindfulness for a little bit. But these are something that I'm doing to try to help enhance mindfulness. Here is a mindfulness moment. Let's take a moment to be mindful together. Take a deep breath and think to yourself, I can make a real difference. My smile can make someone's day. What I say and do matters. The universe appreciates my value. Remember to like this video and always stay present in the moment. Now, it's been my endeavor to get one of those out every day, and I'm hoping that they continually come across people's feeds, because what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is recentering and being fully present in the moment. As I said, remember to always stay present in the moment, and that is actually a time where you just take a moment, stop thinking about what you're going to do 5 minutes from now, stop thinking about what you did 5 minutes ago, or 5 years ago, or 5 years from now, and be fully present in the now, okay? You take a moment to reset your thinking process. You take a moment to say, what am I really thinking right now? What's really going through my head? I'm doing this, but what's really happening here and now and in this moment? Let's recenter myself with my breathing. Okay, let's have a mindfulness moment right now, okay? We're going to take a moment. I'm going to put this music back on. And I want you to forget about everything for a minute. Focus on your breath. Listen to the sound of my voice and my voice alone. Ignore everything else for a moment. Focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in, counting. Hold that breath for a moment, and then slowly let the breath out. We're going to do it again, and we're going to count to 5 as we breathe in. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. Now I want you, as you're breathing, continue that pattern. Feel your lungs filling up. Let your belly be soft as it fills. Your back straight. Reset yourself. What are you thinking right now? Let that thought just pass through and let it go, and go right back to your breath. Keeping the rhythm, breathing in, holding, and breathing out. how do you want to be? Do you want to connect with your guides right now? Listen, just listen to the thoughts. If an errant thought comes in right now while you're breathing, like, hey, I think I'll make meatloaf for dinner. That's nice. Let it go and recenter on your breath. What's the next thought that comes into your head? I need to do laundry. Yeah, I do. I really do. I need some more underwear. Okay, I'll do laundry later. Let it go. Focus on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Do you feel anything? Are you prompted in any particular direction? That thought just came through to you that something that really needs to get taken care of today. Almost forgot about that. Oh my gosh, what happened? Did you just connect with your guides? Who just connected with their guides right now? Tell me the message that your guides just gave you through this mindfulness moment. Anytime, at any point during the day, you can center yourself and reset your attitude. You can do what I'm doing in the mindfulness moments, which is talking about an attitude reset, or you can take a moment to just listen to see what your guides may or may not have to say to you. Somebody came on and says Facebook user, so I'm not sure who it is, but it says a sketch I did. She is one of my guides, but she doesn't speak when I see her. I'm not 100% sure who she is yet. She's kind of new to me, but she started appearing recently. Well, I guarantee you, you've seen her your entire life. You've known her your entire life. She's coming through to you in a way that you are willing to connect. Blackthorn. Gotcha. So she is you. Blackthorn Moon, she is your higher self, finding a way to appear to you in a way that you will hear and you will listen. You set yourself up with your mindfulness and visualize her and listen to what she has to say. This is, again, you connecting to your Akashic self, to your Akashic records keeper, to the spiritual self, which kind of anchors us in reality of any kind, anywhere, anyhow, any when. Our guides are there throughout our lifetimes. Okay? So we've learned a lot today about how to connect with their guides. Does anybody have any questions about who their guides are, what the difference is that we've covered between guides and ancestors and divinity? Does anybody have questions on these things? I will encourage you after this video is posted to go back and re-watch the video. Meanwhile, while we're looking for questions, I would like to introduce you to a reel that we put up on Old Wolf Music about our podcast. In case you missed that, I'll play it one more time. But basically, we have a podcast every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, almost every Tuesday night anyway, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we would like for you to participate. Okay, so here you go. So yes, please do consider submitting for the Witch and Wolf Wisdom podcast. Join the Wolf Pack. You can go to oldwolfmusic.com or email wolf@oldwolfmusic.com. Anybody who submits anything gets entered to win a free Daemon Oracle reading from the Old Wolf. Private Daemon Oracle reading helps you understand the darkness within. And it's a new thing that we're doing. Now, Blackthorn, you said before your guides were always Danu and the Fae when you were a child. Well, Danu and the Fae are guides that are very easy to relate to. Now, are the Fae actual guides? No. Can your guides appear as fae and Danu? Absolutely. Do the fae actually exist and appear? Yes. Do the fae actually work as guides? Sometimes, not always. Most of the time, they're playful little fuckers. Okay, they have a good old time being playful little fuckers. I have to yell at them on a regular. I make sure that I don't protect my area with iron because I want them to be able to come in and have fun. And my cats especially love playing with the fae and the fairies. And I leave them offerings so that they don't get pissed off and hide my shit, because that happens on a regular basis. If they see a shiny and they like it, they will take it and they will hide it and they will keep it somewhere. So I leave little things out and say, hey, leave my shit alone, and this is your shit, okay? Take it all you want, place it wherever you want. This is your shit. This is my shit. Every so often, they're like, oh, but I like your shit better than my shit. I'm going to take your shit. And I'll be like, all right, give it back or I'm kicking you out. And they, within minutes, normally return it. But yes, the fae are very, very real and can appear in multiple different guises in multiple different ways. But again, like other spiritual creatures, they can function as guides, but they are not in and of themselves the spiritual creatures that are the guides, okay? Guides are guides and can appear however they need to appear to be with you. Blackthorn says they always felt like kin and they still stay with me. Well, because of that, you might have actually ended up making friends with the fae and a lot of fae, and so that they hang out. The fae feel natural to you. It is natural that we would absolutely make a connection with the fae, spiritual beings. They're fun, generally light beings. There are dark fae. Yes, absolutely. There are dark fae out there. But again, we talked about things that are guides. If we have a dark entity that will start, trying to influence us, our guides will try to warn us off if we listen. And that's the kicker, isn't it? It's so hard to listen to our guides because, you know what? I tell my guides all the time, fuck you for being right. Fuck you. They're always fucking right. That's another thing. Guides are right. If you're wrong, if you're saying, oh, my guides are wrong, it's possible you weren't listening or you were coming up with your own damn message. That's the one thing pisses me off, and I love them for it all at the same point. Guides are always fucking right, asshats. And they giggle at me every time I say that. They're like, what, you want us to be wrong? No. No, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I really want them to be wrong. There are times where I really, 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 really wanted them to be wrong. Especially around my husband's death and stuff like that. Or when I've seen somebody going down a bad path and they tell me, yeah, they're going down a bad path. But I want to help them. I want to fix them. Yeah, you're not going to be able to. And try. You'll learn in the trying. But you're not going to be able to. You can learn the same lesson a lot less painfully over here. Well, fuck it. I'm going to try anyway. All right, knock yourself out, bitch. Go ahead and try. We told you. And then I come back later. And I look at my guides and like, you fucktards. And they're like, what? We told you. I'm like, yeah, fuck y'all. We told you. That's what happens a lot with guides. So when we took our little mindfulness moment earlier and did our breathing, did anybody hear or feel messages from their guides? Did anybody attempt it? I'm going to wait for your reply and we're going to show another mindfulness moment.
Let's take a moment to be mindful together. Take a deep breath and think to yourself, I can make a real difference. My smile can make someone's day. What I say and do matters. The universe appreciates my value. Remember to like this video and always stay present in the moment.
These things are a pain in the ass to make, so it is truly a labor of love. So yes, if I tend to show them off a little bit, it's because I'm really fucking proud of the work I did on these guides. Seriously. Or not on the guides, but on the reels. Yeah, but that's all, folks. I'm obviously, my brain is not functioning anymore. Now, I do want to invite everybody to join us on my mentorship circle. If you're wanting to learn more, I'm doing these Ask a Witch Lives. This is my public teaching, but on the mentorship circle, I do a lot of private teaching. Things that nobody else gets access to. One of my big projects that I'm starting work on today, well, I've actually already started it, but that I'm working on right now is moving my entire book of shadows into the mentorship circle guides. I am typing things out, writing things out furiously, and setting it up so that the entire book of shadows is in the mentorship circle for everybody to go and reference and use. What do we have in the mentorship circle? It's $25 a month. It is a Facebook group. We have self-paced learning in the guides. Okay, they used to be called units. I wish they called them units, but they're guides, whatever. We have teaching Thursday classes, most Thursdays, not every Thursday, but most. We also have our weekly journal prompts. We have 2 different journal prompts going right now. One is on shadow work, and the other one is getting to know us, getting to know ourselves. Then we also have the exclusive guided meditations that I have in the circle. More to come. We've got some in the making. It's pretty awesome. The spell archive, aka all the spells that I do, and more are going to be going in there as I continue to move my book of shadows in there. Spells are probably going to be the last thing that gets moved in there because I'm already putting spells in there as I'm typing them up and stuff like that. I may be putting a lot of my reference material in there, but there's also some wonderful teaching videos in there on how to make your own spells. Or you guys can ask for spells in the mentorship circle, and I will help you craft a spell or craft one for you, or even cast one for you if that's what you want. We also have mentorship circle chats where we kind of get together and talk about things. That's actually a 24/7 thing that we have going. Community support, and everything's archived for self-paced review. The things that we've been teaching in there: runes, tarot, empathy, spells, witchcraft, shadow work, mindfulness, astrology, dream interpretation, Reiki, and so much more. Herbs, rocks, colors, tools, how to cast a circle, all that shit. Okay? So do check it out. Go to LadyShiya.com to get signed up, and hopefully we'll see you in the mentorship circle. Guys, it has been a wonderful, wonderful day with you. I will be on tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for readings. So all of you guys who want readings, show up tonight. We'll see you then. Meanwhile, merry meet, merry part. Until we merry meet again. Blessed be, y'all.
Let's take a moment to be mindful together. Take a deep breath and think to yourself, I can make a real difference. My smile can make someone's day. What I say and do matters. The universe appreciates my value. Remember to like this video and always stay present in the moment.